Hello and welcome back to Will It Work? Last year I did a video showing how the Nintendo Wii U could burn eShop games to DVD and even play the games off of that DVD. Today we're going to take a look at if the PlayStation 3 can burn data to a DVD as well. Now, why the PlayStation 3? Why not the PlayStation 5? After all, I did have one in here recently in my last video where I connected it to the Nintendo Power Glove. Well, I tried it out on the PlayStation 5 and it doesn't work. And it also doesn't work on the PlayStation 4. And you know what else it doesn't work on? Any Xbox console. On the Nintendo side, of course, we know the Wii U works. The Wii and the Switch have USB ports, but they don't support any kind of external mass storage. So, of the big three console manufacturers, we're down to the PlayStation 3 to see whether or not it can join the Wii U and burning data to a DVD. So, let's get started. Okay, so I have a USB 3 bus-powered DVD burner drive plugged into the PlayStation 3. Being USB 3, it needs more current coming out of a USB port than the PlayStation 3's USB 2.0 port, so that's why I have it attached to the splitter there, and that way we can pull current out of the second USB port as well to help fire up this device. Okay, so just to set expectations, the PlayStation 3 does not let you move games over to external storage and play them off of that. That will have to wait for the PlayStation 4. You can do a general backup of your entire system, including all your games, provided you have space on the external USB storage, but you can't pick and choose what goes over, and you can't play games from that external storage. It's basically like one big backup file. So for that reason, when we test burning data to DVDs here today, we're going to be concentrating on the individual type of files that the PlayStation allows you to copy to and from a external USB drive. Mainly media and your game save files. Not the games themselves, but the save files. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to put in is just a regular old DVD-R right off the spindle, never been used before. Now, whenever you insert a USB disc that the PlayStation 3 recognizes, it'll show up here in this little vertical menu. In this case, we're under the music icon, and nothing's happening. Now, this doesn't surprise me. Just because a device can use USB mass storage does not mean it knows how to write to a CDR or DVD-R. They store their data very differently in a spiral. They use file systems that are not very common to hard disks like ISO and UDF. They're not using FAT32, things like that. So this doesn't surprise me, and this also did not work on the Wii U. So where does that leave us? Let's take a look at another disk. Take this one out. Okay, so this is called DVD RAM. I've featured this before on my channel a couple of times, but if you're not familiar with it, it is an official member of the DVD family. We have the little logo right here. But it's different. Instead of storing its data in a spiral, it actually has hard sectors on the back, just like a hard disk would, or you can think of this as a big zip disk or a big floppy disk. It allows you to read and write files at any time. You don't have to wipe the entire thing clean like you do with an RW disk. And you can format it into any file system that the host operating system supports. In this case, I have formatted this into FAT32, which is what the PlayStation 3 is expecting when you stick in a thumb drive or an external hard drive. So let's try this out. There it is, it popped up right there, USB device, DVD. Well, that's a good sign. So I've got 5 or 6, six MP3 files on the internal hard drive of the PlayStation 3. Let's see if we can copy them and burn them down to the DVD RAM disk here. So I'm going to go in here and hit copy. And it'll say, what device do you want that on? We're going to do the DVD USB device. I think it's going to work. lights flashing on the drive. Oh, look at that. We are burning data to the disk. One more to go. Well, it looks like that worked. Let's try another thing. Let's go over to game saves. Actually, it's, here it is. So let's do a copy multiple. Let's do that one and that one. And you can, of course, upload them online, but let's do the USB device here. Now, even though these game save files are quite a bit smaller than the MP3 files, it actually takes longer to copy them, especially if you have a bunch of them. Obviously, there's some kind of processing going on here. I don't know if it's encrypting these files or converting them into another format for offline storage. I'm curious. I don't really know. If you know why game save files take so long to save in comparison to their size, please let me know in the comments. So we'll just wait here a few seconds while it copies those two game saves over. See, it's just oddly slow. These are only 950 kilobytes, these two files, so why it takes this long, I don't know. There's definitely something else going on in the background here. Okay, so we're done. That took a ridiculous amount of time for 950 kilobytes. Those 6 MP3 files were substantially larger and copied in a fraction of the time. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you is something I believe is fairly unique to the PlayStation 3. I could be wrong, but I believe the PlayStation 3 is the only console from the major 3 manufacturers that lets you download files directly from its internet browser. So let's see if we can download something from the web and burn it down to the DVD. So let's go into the browser here. And then we'll go into my history. We'll need to go to a site that has simple hyperlinks. This old browser doesn't load a lot of pages correctly or at all, and a lot of the links now are too fancy for this and you can't even click on them to download anything. But if you go to a site that has good old-fashioned simple hyperlinks, it'll still work. So this is Panic's webpage. They're a Macintosh software developer, and they also make that new yellow handheld called the Playdate with the crank on the side. And this is the mirror software for that you can load onto your desktop and mirror your game up on the big screen so you can play on the big screen or stream it that way. So let's download the, let's just do the Mac OS version. And it'll say where do you want to save it. We're going to say the DVD. Just do the root. Now it will download this 16 megabyte file and burn it much faster than it took to burn that 950 kilobytes of game save data. We're already halfway done. There we go. Okay, so why don't we pop out this disk and go put it over my iMac and take a look at the contents of the disk and see what we've got on there. Okay, so I have the DVD RAM mounted here on the desktop of my iMac. Let's take a look. Okay, so there's the mirror software we downloaded from Panic's website. Here is the music folder, and there are the 6 MP3 files. And this must be the game save files, those tiny little files that take forever to copy over. And it looks like there are about 5 files to each game save. So that's it. Everything seems to be here. And there you have it. Of the 3 major manufacturers of gaming consoles, the only 2 that can burn data to a DVD are the Nintendo Wii U and the Sony PlayStation 3. So as always, I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please like and subscribe. I'll be back soon, but that's all for now. Take care.